Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. Back at y'all with another video for the day, man. I want to speak on this recent interview that David Benavidez had put out with Pro Box TV, man. Shout out to them for conducting this interview. And David Benavidez is on Canelo ass, man. It's crazy the type of pressure this man is applying on Canelo Alvarez, man. I'm backing it 1,000%. Not only is he putting pressure against his opponents inside of the ring, but his possible opponents outside of the ring, man. He went on to say that first that he said that he's going to get right back in the gym starting next week because he's not going to allow Canelo Alvarez to catch him lacking, catch him slipping in terms of not being in shape or being caught with a good amount of weight on him that he's going to have to cut during training camp or him possibly outgrowing super middleweight division. He said he's going to keep his weight low so Canelo won't try to stall him out and wait for him to move up to 175 so he could come back down to 168 and possibly drain him and take the fight out of him. You know what I mean? Which is extremely smart, man. David Benavidez has a great mindset along with has to have some great people in his corner that have his best interests and just tell him the right things that he needs to hear. You know what I mean? So shout out to him for taking that approach because Canelo has caught a lot of dudes slipping. You know what I mean? Whether he'll catch them coming off of a rough, tough fight like he did Sergey Kovalev, or putting rehydration clauses on dudes, you know what I mean? So it's best that David Benavidez keeps his weight low, you know what I mean? Because you never know when you may receive a call from Canelo Alvarez, you know what I mean? He also went on to say that if Canelo Alvarez is going to fight Jaime Munguia in May, which they have been hearing about lately, you know what I mean? And the fact that he acknowledged that rumor, he might know something that we don't, you know what I mean? So he might fight Jaime Munguia in May, and he says if that's the case, that he wants to get a Jamal Charlo fight around that same time so he could cut out possible opponents for Canelo to face in September. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how, like, strategic David Benavidez is being with this whole situation, man. He's making sure Canelo Alvarez doesn't have nowhere to go. He wants to make sure that Canelo Alvarez has no advantage in terms of possibly having him weight drain. He's trying to make sure that he has no other opponents to go to. You know what I mean? And this is extremely intelligent on David Benavidez's part, man. I back it 1,000%, man. I hope he continues to apply pressure on Canelo Alvarez because slowly but surely, this fight is becoming the most popular fight to be made in boxing right now. You know what I mean? There's nobody else that the fans want Canelo to see. They want to see Canelo fight besides David Benavidez is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? We don't really want to see Jaime Munguia. We don't want to see Jamal Charlo. We don't want to see Carlos Adames. You know what I'm saying? All those fights could happen after the fact, after the David Benavidez fight. You know what I mean? I said on my live several times that us as boxing fans have to step up against these promoters and these boxers that feel like they could cut corners and just give us BS fights that we're not looking for. You know what I mean? So we need to continue applying that pressure on Canelo and put his back against the wall so he'll have no choice but to take this fight. You know what I mean? And David Benavidez is doing what he needs to do as a fighter to make sure that Canelo won't look anywhere else besides his way. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts on the whole situation, man. David Benavidez is applying pressure to Canelo Alvarez to force him to fight him, man, whether it's cutting out potential opponents or, you know what I mean, making sure that he stays in shape, you know what I mean, keeps his weight low, you know what I mean? So whenever he gets that call, he'll have a smooth transition back down to 168 pounds, you know what I'm saying? David Benavidez is in a different mode, man. He's not taking no for an answer, you know what I mean? He's not settling for less, and he wants to fight the best to prove that he's the best, and these are the type of fighters that we need to respect. These are the type of fighters that we need to invest our money into. Legacy-driven fighters, not guys who want to fight low-level opposition and be satisfied with the paychecks that they get and not really considering fighting guys that we actually want to see them face. David Benavidez is telling you he wants all the smoke. You know what I mean? He's telling you that he'll do anything to get the Canelo Alvarez fight. He eliminated a possible opponent, Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? And beat a former opponent of Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant to show you that he's not messing around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm backing that 1,000%, like I said multiple times throughout this video, man. And I hope that he continues doing what he needs to do. I hope that whenever Canelo Alvarez steps outside, they ask him about David Benavidez. You know what I mean? Because as of right now, it seems as if David Benavidez has successfully attached his name to Canelo Alvarez. So he needs to just continue pushing for the fight. Continue mentioning his name. You know what I mean? Keep your face in these media outlets and continuously talk about that fight until it's no longer until it's inevitable. Until he can no longer step outside of his crib and live in peace until he gets that fight going. It's the same way Triple G applied pressure with HBO to get Canelo Alvarez to fight him. This is exactly what David Benavidez needs to do to get this fight. You know what I mean? So that's my overall take on the situation, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all want to see Benavidez and Canelo next? You know what I mean? And if you don't, please let me know why. You know what I mean? What do you think about David Benavidez's approach? Should he take out Jamal Charlo next? If Canelo fights Jaime Munguia, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.